So there's a lovely ladder over here. There are lots of ladders that just go right out of the oil, like it's a pool, like it's a swimming pool. Well, swimming is not advised. Swimming is not advised in here either. This pit of acid, or whatever this is, radioactive activity, radiation. I want to say acid though, just because, well, Riddle School 5 had a pit of acid. Oh, and that's I guess that's something I could mention while I'm dying in the green stuff here. Green stuff not being money, it's acid, which is much more deadly, even though money is the root of all evil or something. And there's a gold barrel. Gold barrel, that's appropriate in the green stuff. Anyway, Riddle School 1 recently got 1 million views on Newgrounds, and that was I mean, I'm not gonna say I deserved it or anything. I'm just really happy that that Riddle School has gotten as big as it has. It's not exactly so impressive that one thing got 1 million views after what, 5 years, but it's still a great accomplishment to me because I've always wanted something to get that big, one of my works. I just never knew. I had no idea from the beginning that Riddle School would even get more than, like, I don't know, 40... no, not 40, like 4,000 views at most, is what I was picturing. But no. No, it's much more ridiculous. Thank you all. Thank you everyone who's been a part of the Riddle School series, even though this is completely unrelated to this Banjo-ness. So we put 4 eggs in the toll. And, well, like, I don't know, like, what has made Riddle School what it is all the fans that I've had and all the people who have given me comments, whether they're good or bad. I appreciate all comments, and, like, you might not really think about it much, but I sincerely love reading all of your comments. Any comment that you leave, I read it, and I just appreciate it. I don't know how else to say it, except well. That would be preferable. But yeah. And I noticed that a few of you had been playing Donkey Kong 64 recently. I don't know whether that was because I've been playing Banjo Kazooie, and Donkey Kong 64 is another rare game, another rare adventure collection platformer for the Nintendo 64. If I did inspire you to play it, then rock on, and if I didn't, rock on anyway, because it is a good game. But also very glitchy. I think if I did a Let's Play of Donkey Kong 64, which isn't outside of the realm of possibility, I would probably point out as many glitches as I possibly could, not because I think it's a bad game at all, but just because it's one of the less polished games, I think, for the Nintendo 64. Maybe not one of the less polished, but one of the less polished rare games, definitely. Oh, it's a TNT box! But, more boxes. So many boxes. One of my favorite parts of this level is this crane. And there's another crane, too, but, like, the cranes in this level are part of the reason I think it's so awesome. And easiest grunty switch jiggy to get in the world. Easier than the first level in the game. Definitely. Definitely the easiest one. Well, actually, the one for World 9 is pretty easy, too, but you don't know how to... If you don't think about how to get it, or actually, if you don't think about how to get it, then it's easier to get than if you do think about how to get it, because then you overthink it, and it's really quite simple how you get that grunty switch jiggy. But yeah, the cranes here, I think, just add to how, I guess, realistic this level feels. Like, I think this level feels more realistic than any of the areas that you see in Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. Perhaps because of its size. It's, like, small, but it feels big at the same time, and Oh, there's no way to explain it. I suck at explaining things. Toll 8. A whole 8 eggs. It's a good thing that we had 70 or however many we had before. Oh, and look at all this tricky platforming. Look at all that tricky walking. We had to walk across a slant. Which I could see why you could have problems with that. I'm sure I did the first time I played this. And we got a Banjo! Whether 'tis nobler... I forgot my quote. Let me look that up, actually. Come on, I'm gonna look this up on camera. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I'm looking through my folders and files without looking at the video at all. Okay, here we go. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against the sea of Jinjos. Okay, that was my quote. And I didn't even get to see the explosion, but oh well, I know what happens. So upon getting the TNT box, so many boxes. So many boxes. This should just be called Box World. Although that's probably taken by something. I don't know what name would be Box World, but there's probably a Box World. And I also hadn't noticed until this last playthrough, or this playthrough that I've done, how awesome the sky looks. I apparently just don't look up very often. I don't look up very much in real life. I don't look up very much in video games. I like to take pictures of clouds, yet I don't look up very often. I like taking pictures of clouds more than people. Okay, so this, we've seen a lot of boom boxes. What could this boss be called? Boss Boombox. I would be lying if I said that wasn't catchy, but I would also be lying if I said that I thought that was original, because it's definitely not very creative. So, one obvious thing that you could do is take a lot of invincibility feathers and just, plow through these boxes, but I just did it the traditional way, which is boxing. I already used that joke. But how can you not use the boxing joke here? Come on, this is definitely boxing. Or rather, unboxing. So dumb. Oh boy. So they turn into a lot of little boxes, and I guess another similarity between this game and Banjo, or this game and Banjo-Kazooie, this game and Super Mario Sunshine, that I thought of too recently. This boss in particular really makes me think of the Stingray boss, the Manta Ray, Shadow Manta Ray thing in Serena Beach in Super Mario Sunshine. And I know I've done like a Let's Respond to Super Mario Sunshine Versus part, based on the thing that Attacking Toucans and Josh Jepson have been doing, which is amazing. But, well, I don't really feel like... I'm a good many weeks behind, and I don't think it would be... Like, my one 30-minute episode of that was my first attempt at recording anything ever. Oh, 99 notes, that's not good. But luckily the last one isn't too far away. Yeah, that was my first attempt ever at recording, and I feel like I've changed so much, even in the last 2 months. In the last 2 months, I feel like I've changed a whole lot in my style of Let's Playing. I feel like I've gotten more comfortable with everything, and really that's, I think, probably the first big key to Let's Playing, maybe. It might be just getting comfortable. Knowing what your audience is, knowing what your intended audience is. I look at the door here because it reminds me of Gloomy Galleon from Donkey Kong 64. But I'm not saying I know a lot about Let's Playing, because I obviously have no experience. But anyway. What was I talking about? I don't remember, so I am just gonna keep going. The reason I stopped there, I think I actually looked at a walkthrough, just like I did in Mad Monster Mansion. Yeah, I don't come prepared. But there's the last note. It didn't elude us. It wasn't in the engine room. Oh, thank goodness. You found all 100 notes on this world! Well done! And so we have 2 more Jiggies left. Where could those be? I don't remember where they are. Oh, never mind, I do. One of them is under this cage. And you get to use the other crane on this cage, although there's going to be a time limit for this one. This is going to be a timed Jiggy to obtain. Timed obtainable Jiggy. Come on, Banjo, come on. It's just kind of weird. It's like I'm watching a movie. And it's because I already played this. It's like I could do whatever I want right now. I can do anything with my hands. I could clap. I'm clapping. I'm clapping. Because I'm not holding a controller. And you know what? I'm gonna take a sip of Gatorade right now. On camera. Or not on camera, but on recording. Whatever. That was good. Because I have Gatorade. And if you stay under the cage long enough, nothing happens, just to let you know. It'll only lower once you've left its general vicinity. So, if you're worrying about getting trapped into the cage, no worries at all. And here's the other Jiggy to get. This Jiggy has always made me think of Donkey Kong 64 because I mean I know there are a lot of similarities with this game and Donkey Kong 64 because I've said Donkey Kong 64 so many times in this level now. But this Jiggy in particular makes me think of it because in Fungi Forest in Donkey Kong 64, when can I stop saying that? I feel like there's a very similar puzzle to this. See, right here you see 3, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1 on the side of this boat. And why did you... Okay, good, I didn't fall off. Like, you see these 1, 2, 3 switches in Fungi Forest in Donkey Kong 64. And you have to, you know, switch them along. A very similar pattern to this. I don't know if it's 3, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. But it might be... Blah, I just burped. Excuse me. I'm trying to be polite. Well, not that I don't... I usually say excuse me, so why I do something differently in recording, I don't know. But yeah. Brrr. Brrr. And something fun about Fungi Forest, one of the beta areas in this game, worlds in this game, was going to be Fungus Forest. There was going to be a game, or there was going to be a world in this game called Fungus Forest, but then it was eventually taken out for reasons unknown, as well as another level that was turned into Hailfire Peaks in Banjo-Tooie. And look at that, 100 notes, 10 Jiggies, the other things, in an hour and a half. Yeah, for reasons unknown, it was taken out, and I think the music was actually kind of similar to Fungi Force as well. Not really close at all. It didn't sound like it was the same music or even derived from the same notes or anything, but yeah, that's what it eventually turned into. And if you go back to Banjo's house, which I will probably do eventually, maybe in a bonus video after the whole Let's Play is basically over, because I haven't shown the inside of Banjo's house for whatever reason. Why am I standing by this pot? Yeah, there's a picture of the Fungus Forest, the original Fungus Forest, in Banjo's house, as well as a picture of an area that only appears after you've played through the whole game and watched the ending, with all 100 Jiggies. The 100 Jiggy ending. There's an area there that you also see a picture of in Banjo's house. And I think there might be one more picture in Banjo's house that's mysterious, but I can't remember what that is exactly. I think it might just be, like... I want to say it's the other thing that I mentioned that turned into Hailfire Peaks, but I would have to, you know, look that up. And I don't really feel like looking anything up right now because I am in the middle of recording, and look at that, another note door opened! Yeah! Oh boy! I'm in a good mood, I really am. And there's that note that we were talking about earlier. Or not the note. Jiggy. Will there ever come a point where I just stop mixing up words? I really get Jiggy and Jinjo confused. Those just...
Why do I talk all the time? It's really hard to make these rhyme.
Yeah, that's definitely right, Grunty. And you know what? That is probably my cue to stop talking too. So next time on Banjo Kazooie, we are going to do stuff. See ya.